We was here to see them get off. We drove up over there where the plane was. As soon as we drove up, they were stepping off of it.
Oh.
They in there somewhere.
Hey, how y'all doing? Get a hug before you get to your mama.
I'm done. I'm all right, Mama.
You got all your parts and everything?
The best of my knowledge. Get close enough. You get your bag. I ain't been a few pounds.
You got what? Hey. Howdy. Hello. See y'all. My folks here.
I never did get to see Julie the whole time I was there. They went and ate shrimp with them.
He's always telling some big fella.
About 3 in the afternoon. We got there. Funny how the weather works. Big Red.
They're getting them out.
Closer what?
Get Lee to tell you the story about Stephen King and the... That's good.
Just like you told it, Lee.
Iraqi canteen.
Some little Iraqi is thirsty because you have his canteen.
No, he wasn't thirsty.
Oh dear. Did you see him?
Huh? Well, I didn't see him per se, but I saw his little cousin when I went down there to what do they call it, Ambush Alley? Is that what? You didn't see me. That's where down the road, the big highway where they.
Oh yeah. Tell what happened to you last night.
Okay. They stopped us off at Bangor, Maine for a little stopover for a couple of hours and everything. We were all in a bar just drinking, you know, and everything. First beer, we was just having fun. And this guy from some kind of cable vision guy, news guy, came in and was, you know, filming everybody. And he got to my face. I said, the only reason I fought this darn war to begin with is because I knew I was coming to Bangor, Maine. I thought I was going to get to see Stephen King. And he said, all right, well, let's go to his house. So we got in his truck, you know, and they were filming it the whole time, me and this woman and this guy and him. And we went up there and we went to his house in the middle of the night, shining the lights up. Pretty cool. So that's my.
But
he was not at home, no. But he's got a wicked looking house.
Wicked looking house.
Yeah, and I talked to some girls up there. They said that they had They just saw him walking up and down the street. He looked like crazy. He wore old clothes, crazy stuff.
You know, his neighbor's got a suit out. He's been in the news lately. His neighbor thinks she's stalking his house, writing.
He's gonna go crazy one day. This is
I got his address, bro. I'd like to be his apprentice.
the laundry was a little dirty.
Is the laundry a little dirty? What is that now?
That's Iraqi officer's rate. His little
He didn't need it any longer either.
On the top of
few little holes,
He didn't need.
Did you just find these
What?
things?
I found some of it. This Tony found this.
Formation. Put it down, Rick. Look him around and see him.
Zero 700 in the morning. ECU, soft cap, brown boots. Make sure you secure your bag in the foot locker and your wall locker. Make sure you sign out before you leave. All the doors are locked, all the lights are off. Everybody gather around up here.
Well, the good one helped it out. I'm not making the good one. Derek, spend your time out. 4 to 8 days.
I don't blame them either.
The Pattersons.
We got the tree.
Is that an oak tree?
With a yellow ribbon around it. So they got a little flag.
Oh, they're decked out. They must know somebody.
They must know a soldier. I have a feeling this is all for Lee Rozelle. I know it should be for everybody, but
Cute.
isn't that cute?
And then there's the oak tree. Okay, now we're stopped in the middle of the road. All right, we're headed on home now.
Put that red, white, blue ribbon on the mailbox. Please be up. Right on the ground.
These folks know a soldier.
It almost stayed up.
Yeah, it's up. Welcome home, Lee. This must be where Lee Rozelle lives.
It's the Lee Rozelle that we've heard so much about.
Yeah.
You got that?
Yeah.
Which is not a big deal, but then there's a sign down.
Okay.
Down.
Around oak trees, pine trees,
I mean,
telephone
trees,
poles.
It doesn't matter. Ashley got carried away. She has one on her car. I didn't have one left for this car.
Well, there's some at school. The dog doesn't have a ribbon around his neck. He wonders why is she coming home this time.
He's confused. Look at him. He's confused. Got his canoe out so he can see it. I think these folks are proud to see their son. Get up the hill.
Again here. Good morning, you're on the air.
Good morning. Welcome on, all the boys and girls from Clement and Lowry and Darty. We're proud of you and we love you good as anything. Welcome home.
Okay, thanks, Larry. You got that. We love you gooder than anything. That's the way to put it, isn't it? Hey, let's go play Daddy's Home.
Now let's turn here and go around the square.
This is Sandra Ferguson at First National Bank in Limeville. We just, Miss Ruby Elliott and I wanted to wish the boys back home, but she said she didn't think the phones would work until John Johnson and John North got back.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for calling. Okay, that's a good way about it.
Say thanks. They done the job well over there. And our hearts and our loves and our prayers with them all the time they come.
People aren't out yet, are they?
Okay. All right, nice to meet Sarah this morning. And just anybody, if you want to call, you can call.
Just circle the courthouse and then we'll
directly. You can
go
call
back to the armory.
354-4600 to 4601. We're being simulcast on
Do they have flags
WZBX,
and
our
bows?
gospel sister station. And you can call 354-7224, that number, if you want to be put on the air. And we got the phone lighting up all over. All right, let's go back to it. Back to the phone. Good morning.
Those on the courthouse.
Welcome home with all the other troops. And this is St. Maggie.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, from Maggie there to Ronnie. And good morning, you're on the air.
This is Fidel Carter, and I'd like to wish all the 127th a nice welcome.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. So you can kind of see the mood everybody's in here. Uncle Al, go back to the phone. Good morning, you're on the air.
Good morning, Dolan. We want to wish all the troops that's coming in a very happy success from Joyce, Misty, Evelyn, and Mayfair.
They did a good job, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
All right, we're proud of it. Okay, thank you for calling. Good morning, you're on the air. Well, we thank you for calling. All right. And good morning, you're on the air. Okay, thank you.
Glad to have y'all back.
All right, and she will probably have some biscuits for you when you get back on. Okay. And there you have our phone is still lighting up, so we'll just continue to answer. Good morning.
Hey, this is Sue at Today's Flowers.
Really? Where?
At Today's Flowers in here.
Who?
You know who this is.
Okay.
Ronnie Robinson know who it is.
Yeah.
We hope that we'll see every one of them, but a special hello to my sweetie and then my nephew Doug.
Oh, I thought for a minute there Jeff was on the bus.
No!
Oh, okay.
That's my other sweetie.
Oh, all right.
But Ronnie Robinson's my sweetie.
Okay.
And Jean knows it. And so does Ronnie know it, my other brother.
Well, thank you, Sue.
But we want to tell them that we're proud of them and we love them.
Hey, Joel.
We got to find out about this thing between Ronnie and Sue now. What is it? What is this thing now, Ronnie?
She's just a good friend.
Yeah. Well, in defense of you, we know that's the case because Sue has told me in the past that y'all were very close friends. So we'll let you out of there.
Okay, got another caller here. Good morning, you're on the air.
Yes, I'd like to say hi to Ronnie Newberry and this member
there's a sign right there at the church and welcome everybody home.
All right, thank you. Thank you for calling. And good morning, you're on the air.
Hi.
I'll just keep it on because the radio.
If you got something else you'd like to pass along, I just lied again.
All right. I tell you what, let me see if we can find out where we are now. Yeah, we're very close to Ball Rock, just north of Wadley, okay? We're going down in the hole. I may lose you, but that's where we are. Very close to Ball Rock, so that'll give you some indication now.
Okay, yes, we're still picking you up pretty good. Still got a little cracking in there, but I'm sure that the people are enjoying the conversation. Good morning, you're on the air. All right. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, and a call there. And you're at about Ball Rock, you say, huh?
Yes, we are, Dolan. We're, matter of fact, just coming up the hill, I guess, or down in the valley. I have to keep sitting down to see where we are. Yes, we're about to head up Ball Rock. And we're at mile marker 23. I don't know if that means anything. How far is that north of the Fed? Is that what that is? I think it is. But we're running along about, I don't know, 10, 15 miles an hour probably, something like that. But we're making pretty good time, and it won't be long before we'll be rolling up to that Clay County line. And of course, I know when we get there. Oh, you know what's probably going to break loose on this bus? I don't know when they see that Clay County line. But, guys, I don't see every guy and every lady back here is smiling. That's all they're doing is smiling. You can't wipe that smile off the face. But an anxious bunch of people to get back to Clay County. And, of course, as we've talked, it has been a long period of time. And
you're probably looking at something about, what, 20 minutes out of Ashland, or?
Yeah.
There's his heart. Did y'all hear him on the radio?
Wait a minute, stay with me. Stay with me. They're coming right now. You're going to see them. That's it. There they are right there now. There they are. Wait a minute, don't run. They're going to come in here. Wait a minute. Stay with me now. Don't get lost. They're coming in here. I didn't see it, but it's got to
And he's born in Mobile, and he's lived a part of his life in Clay County. And, well, you've grown. You've grown. How you doing? All right. Get Channel 6 over here. What you know, man?
Hey.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. Where's she from? Kevin. Look here.
What are you making him cry for?
Y'all waving your flag. Y'all all waving your flag. I saw it. Oh, that's it.
He saw the baby. You know, they run over to get the baby, and the daddy and Lee said, "This is not us." Is he on TV saying this is not us?
Well, we got him anyway.
I hope they put it on.
Take it up, Marge.
Back over that luggage, you fall down. Got on the kid.
Golly, how about it, old flip head? How you doing? Great, dude.
Records on 2 or 3 different ways.
Already? Okay. Well, that's fine. I took all Margie's film up.
That small guard didn't even go. And there's about 100 people that called out Hugh Rozelle, and this police was watching Hugh thing. He looked at her husband and said, "You mean that old, that gray-headed? You mean Hugh Rozelle is over there?" I just saw him a week ago.
Yeah, it's just what a fella has to do. I had to look around there and get a few, you know.
Well, you know, when they told him to get 10 cases, he got 20.
Lord! Well, I understand, though, that y'all were eating chili for about several months.
We did that.
But then things got better.
There was one fella that told me that he couldn't eat it.
Well, one of the cooks?
Yeah. He just made one little special plate, you know, there, one bucket.
For one person?
Well, no, he made it for everybody. They wasn't but after the first one got a hold of it, nobody else ate it.
What about pancakes? Oh, y'all ever had pancakes? Did you have syrup? Well, what about the first time did you have syrup? Have you ever eaten any pancakes and instead of syrup having a Coca-Cola and some sugar mixed up?
Yeah, you have. Whether you knew it or not.
Hey, old buddy. You mean you've been over there?
Come on in.
I knew it all the time. We're performing right here, so this smile for the lady. And Sister Hannah and Lee, where y'all going? I thought you came home.
We gotta go back to Benny.
We better go and check with Eddie and find out about what you're supposed to do. Certainly things about that thing before I headed out before Benny. Lord, I could stop here and talk to that blessed guy. Is there anything else? I heard him on the bus, on the burst, say that he was born in Talladega. I mean, born in Mobile and lived a portion of his life in Clay County. But they were claiming him in Talladega County, Muscatine County, Baldwin County. Where do we got?
We gotta have a little formation.
Have a little formation and then release it. Well, yeah. Should we hang around, boy?
Yeah, look at this. This little man on camera. Yeah, if I got the baby. I hope you like Brendan, don't you? Yeah. Hey, you gotta get me holding her.
Yeah, get Gerald holding her.
Yeah, you know how to hold
She does look at
Dave's gonna get on that. I missed the qualify.
She likes Lee. She's Lee.
No,
I didn't know he does. Not usually.
Oh, I give it back. Well, I'm sure, yeah. Man, there's some old coolers in that thing. Yeah.
Those who have folks that's still over there, we left 4 meetings yesterday afternoon at the EOC. We hope they're going to leave there the 6th of May, which will put them here around the 7th of meeting. Hopefully they'll be back here around the 10th, 11th of May. That's the last word we heard. And there were about 9 or 10, we got 14 folks left. There were about 10 volunteers, and we had 6 names out of here. So we are thankful for you families, because we know you're making a sacrifice for those 14 still over there. And if they rob my house, we'll know why. But 13, 14,
Where you been? I've been up here. You taking it easy, having a good time. Pretty good. All right. How does he look? Good. Oh, he looks pretty snappy yourself here.
Hey, Daddy.
You remember the name?
Yeah.
He's just getting in, Dad.
Was that Lee?
This is his friend, Gerald. Come over here, Gerald. This is his friend, Gerald.
Hey there. Well, hey there. How you doing?
He and Lee have been together since they started first grade. And now they've gone off and won the war together. They look good, don't they?
Yeah, you do. Now, how you like it up here, Paul? Oh, it's pretty good. Pretty good. I hear you was racking up on bingo the other day. No, it's not too well. You tried.
Well, he's the best and like you on that, Daddy.
That's right. I'll be the one that you join before it's over with.
You really need to just go ahead and pick him out of rest.
Come here, baby. Oh, shoot, no, heck. This isn't my claim to fame. I'm just a regular old country butthole like everybody else.
He's got to go back to Fort Benning.
Yeah.
But he'll come one day when he...
There's 1 or 2 little gals come out of female go watch television and tell me. Get a little fire.
Ready to go on? Okay, Daddy, they got to go on back to Fort Benning, but we will see you on Sunday.
Okay. Most definitely. Yes, sir. I'm so glad I seen you. Yes, sir. I'm glad I saw you too. You're looking all right. We're all glad to see you.
if I'm on about this story. She sent me a card, and she was afraid that I had been in touch with her and had missed her, but she'd been in the hospital. And I still didn't get in touch with her. When I retired, I am the only person, if you'll let me brag a little bit, in Escambia County that they had a day for, you know, a Hugh Rozelle Day in Escambia County. And I was told about it shortly before it happened to give the chairman the names of people that maybe might want to come for the occasion, the ceremony. So I gave him this child's name, and the envelope came back. I don't know what it said, but I don't think she would. I think it was sort of like a fellow that I was talking to not too long ago said he got a letter from this female former friend, and he came and he looked at it, and he thought, well, I could read it, but he didn't read it, and he threw it away. And it might have been that this female, when she got my invite, felt the same way, because I think she was from that old school, if you don't like my peaches, quit shaking my tree. Now I find myself sitting here with a young gentleman that has just come in from Saudi Arabia. I think after you've been there any length of time, you refer to yourself as coming in from Saudi. And I don't think I've ever been to a town where the whole town wholeheartedly entered into a welcoming situation like they did for the 127 headquarters hospital unit from Ashland, Clay County, Alabama. There were signs everywhere. I learned that, well, in my automobile, I turned on the radio, and I heard that the troops were coming in from Fort Bennings, Georgia, and I listened, and there was a announcer. I later found out he's from Ashland, and he was interviewing troops, talking about coming through Wadley, coming through Mellow Valley. All the kids was out, and then he interviewed my grandson, and I believe he talked more. My grandson talked more than most of the other people. It seemed that there were times when there was a lot of homesickness and this and that, and there's always one human that cheered the others up, and it was Hugh Rozelle. He left here. I thought his name was Lee, but his name is Hugh Edward Lee Rozelle. And I heard, Lee, where are you a native of Clay County? I was born in Mobile. And I thought to myself, well, I remember that trip taking Lee's mother to Mobile in a hurry, and his father at that point in time was in the National Guard. And so we took it to his mother Ruth to a hospital in Mobile, where he was born, and his daddy was there. His daddy came in that night, but he was at the hospital the next day. Now, you left, Lee, you left Clay County. When did you get a call? Not that dates are so important, but you was going to school. You joined up with the National Guard in Ashland at the age of 17. And you've been going to these drills, and you got this call to come back to Clay County, that there was a war going on in the Persian Gulf, and that you were to report for duty. You had about 3 days to do so, and that's awfully dirty, isn't it? We don't know from whom that thing was on. That's part of the paraphernalia of that Spec 4 Hugh Rozelle brought back from Saudi. And I believe you are, rather than for this to be a monologue, and where you can open up your voice and talk, and I'm a little hoarse, as you know. Now, you were down going to school at the University of South Alabama. You was in the National Guard in this headquarters unit in Ashland, and you got a call to come, and that y'all were going overseas. About when did that call? How did you, somebody call you on the telephone?
Well, as I recall, it was after school one day, and I had a couple of tests coming up, and I was, about to study. I'd made my own self a pizza for my roommate, and I was sitting around talking about class and this and that, right halfway in the middle of the quarter, and got a phone call, and it was my friend Joe. We talked about this and that, and everything, and he said, "Did you hear about it?" But did you hear about it? He got engaged, or he's already had a baby or something. I figured somebody had a car wreck or something. No, I didn't hear about it. I was just sitting there, kept on laughing and everything. And, well, we got the call. We're going to we got to be here in a couple of days. Just good grief. So, next morning.
It was a shock, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You had been to school that day?
Yeah, this was after school. I was just settling down, relaxed. And the next morning I got up, went around to all my teachers, started trying to get all my little affairs in order.
Uh-huh.
And my business teacher gave me my average without taking the final, which was nice, which turned out to be a D. And my little English teacher, she let me take a special test in her office, and she guided me through it, the next day. So I ended up with an A in that. And my biology teacher, he let me drop his final, and he helped me a little bit. I guess he was a better to something himself. He was real nice. I ended up with a B in that, so I had a pretty good average anyway, being cut right in the middle of the quarter.
Wasn't there one little female that was from down there at in Baldwin County that was in your unit?
Oh, yeah.
Did she get noticed to come?
Well, I actually called her and told her. I was going to ask her something about it. I don't remember what. I just want to make sure she knew about it or something.
And she did not know about it?
She didn't know about it. I told her to call up there. And she was surprised,
So, well, and you had a bed and your effects, and you had to leave in, what, 3 days?
Yeah, a couple of days.
And you took those exams, and and made arrangements to leave the University of South Alabama. Did you stop off in Atmore? Did you come see me?
Heck, I don't even remember. I remember just trying to get going to the bank and this and that and talking to the women before I left, and I don't even remember what I did. I don't even remember after I got the call.
Now, what women were you talking to?
Just the people at school, you know.
Oh, I see. Okay, and you told everybody goodbye.
Right.
Was anybody else going to Saudi?
Well, not around Mobile, you know. I didn't, just Tammy.
But what was that biology professor's name?
Dr. Langdon.
Now, he called.
Right.
And you were supposed to call him. But I believe we've discussed that. You're going to take your time about getting back in school.
Well, if he said, well, listen, Lee, we've got this big environmental, we've got to save the creek, we got to go down here, I just have to just forget everything, just go save the creek.
To save the creek?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
you're that much
I like that.
into that subject.
Yeah. It's fun.
And that, what, in biology?
Yeah, environmental science.
And that's going to be your life's work. Yeah. That's good.
That's fun.
Okay. Now, you employed by him?
Yeah, I hopefully will be again whenever.
Well, were you employed?
Right.
Well, now, how much did that help you?
What?
To work for the biology teacher?
Well, in the long run, if I stay working with him until I get my bachelor's, it'll be beneficial because he's he runs the Mobile Regional Science Fair, which, you know, coordinates with all the science teachers in Escambia, Baldwin, you know, all up in there. So that would help out a lot.
Yeah. Well, did you just come right on to, did you come right here to your parents' home?
Right. I guess I got in real late at night or in the afternoon. Tried to round up all my, you know, shovel and all that junk.
Your uniforms were here?
You got your knife that you carry. I think you need to show what you carried with you.
Oh,
you got your knife with you.
I do not.
Well, it's something like that.
Yeah.
Did you lose your...
No, it's in one of my pockets somewhere.
By the way...
Wait a minute, just hold it, just a minute. Now, before he left, there's several things that he felt like he should carry with him. And he took my pocket knife.
All right.
And he had carried a flashlight, and a little length of string, and a compass. Just I was a little worried, you know, he might get separated. And then he wanted his sound equipment. He carried tape players and a radio. And thank goodness he carried 2 or 3 little cameras like this. I hope that's on there. And made about 11 rolls, and we can't wait to get them back. 11 rolls was probably 24.
That's wonderful.
200, over 200 pictures that we got to look forward to.
A lot of stuff on that.
Okay, and how long were you in Ashland before you left wherever you were leaving for?
I guess it was a couple of days. I don't even recall.
Well, did they have didn't they have a big to-do in Ashland where CNN came down and everybody was seeing you off and you got on a bus? And where did you go to?
Went to Benning. It was, yeah, they had a big formation, generals there, and telling us, you know, everything, all what we were going to do.
In Ashland?
Right, and then we got on the bus, and when everybody got on the bus, it was just quiet. You know, they saw everybody wave everybody off, and everybody saw those people going down. We were going down towards Benning. Everybody got real quiet. Slowly, somebody tried to, you know, joke around and say something, but everybody was solemn.
Y'all had been yelling and hollering and joking, and then all of a sudden, are you saying that there was a realization that where in the world are we going? That's, you wrote me a letter touching on that, and that's sort of the feeling you had.
Yeah, and it's kind of like we had to go to the gas chamber, we had to go fire and all this. And we were out there on the range, and our colonel, Diamond, he, he's a tough, he's stiff-lipped and everything. But we were out there, and I was firing with him. We had about the same sight, so we were firing with my weapon. And he was standing up there, and I was firing, I heard him say, "What in the hell are we doing?" That just made me feel weird to hear him say that. I said, what the hell are we doing here? He hadn't even figured it out yet. But,
Is that the colonel I talked to?
Oh, that was Leon. That was the light colonel. Ain't nothing to him.
He might have been looking at you shoot that gun. Little old boy looked like he's about 15, and and that's kind of sobering. Looking at you shoot that gun?
Now all that happened at Fort Benning.
Right.
How many days were you at Fort Benning?
That was about 2 weeks. We went through a lot of classes and all this, none of which were accurate. Every class they gave us had nothing to do with what was going on in the desert.
What happened later on, you realized that what you took really wasn't helpful?
Yeah, not at all.
Did you have any company while you were at Fort Benning? Didn't Mary Jane and myself come over there?
Yeah.
Did your family come over just about every weekend?
Oh yeah, they did.
What, did they stay in hotels?
Yeah, that was.
Could you? I know you came and spent the night. We rented 2 rooms. I think it's a Holiday Inn. And wasn't you supposed to go in a day or two?
Yeah,
the next day.
Right. That was towards the end. All that stuff that was going on then is just a fog in my mind. Because I was.
Well, now your sergeant that had that little girl, he was at the hotel. You remember him coming out?
Sergeant Ford.
Bob Ford.
Bob Ford. What
Bob
rank?
Ford? Well, he wasn't the one that shot Jesse James, was he?
I'm not.
Wasn't he 56 years old?
He was. Yeah, he was a. I think he was a PFC during the Civil War. I'm not sure.
Civil War. Y'all kidding
him?
about?
Lord. He was about the oldest guy out there. We gave him heck about it. He did everything.
But he's in pretty good shape, wasn't he?
I guess he was. He's out there playing softball when I was there.
Okay, now you got on an airplane at Fort Benning, and what kind of plane was it? Do you remember?
C-141. It was a military big jet.
Did it have seats on it?
Yeah, it was a big long canvas bench that went up one wall and down the other. And in the middle we had our trucks and...
trucks?
Yeah, that we carried
on that plane?
Yeah, we could have dropped off anywhere and just got out and been ready to go. We had everything on there.
That's a big plane,
well, no, it was 3 planes, see. And we had each part had them and their stuff and what they needed, their equipment, their trucks, this and that.
It took 3 planes to take the Ashland unit over?
Yeah, Ashland unit, all equipment.
And how many men were in the Ashland unit?
51
men and women.
at the time. There was 51 when we left.
And there was 1 girl?
There were 3 girls. I mean, actually 4.
Yeah. And, okay. Now, did you get on at nighttime or daytime?
Let's see. It seems like we got on in the late afternoon because we were going and it was nighttime for about 24 hours when we went over there. It just seemed like it was nighttime for a real long time. And when we got to Saudi, it was 2 in the morning. A couple of days later.
Okay. Did you stop anywhere other than Germany? Going over?
We didn't stop anywhere in the States. We went and we stopped in Germany, and then we stopped.
Let's see, what month was that? November?
Yeah, November.
And did you say it was snowing?
In Germany, yeah.
Well, were you able to get out and go downtown?
Oh, no. There was little stores just around there on posts. That's all we did.
Do you remember what area you were in? Was it near Frankfurt on the Main, or?
I can almost recall the name of it, but it was, I don't know, it was one of those burgers, I believe.
How long? Yeah.
I don't know where it was.
How many hours were you there?
Just about 3 or 4 hours.
Well, didn't it give you a pretty good feeling to get out on the ground?
Yeah, I wanted to at least put a foot down, so you know.
Did you have the jet lag, so to speak?
Oh, not then. We were.
Not then? Did
Yeah,
you
we
have
were
it
high
later on?
practice then. Well, when we got into Saudi Arabia, it was in the morning, and we didn't have that much sleep. And we got there and we had to get our bags off and wait around. And wait a minute, we stopped in New Jersey on the way up there.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, in the middle of the night. And
Do you know where you stopped?
yeah, Fort Dix.
Same place that you take your basic training? How long did you stay?
Just a couple of hours. So.
Did you eat there?
Yeah, we had something to eat. They had some kind of thing over.
Did you eat on the plane, or
No.
did y'all get off the plane?
We.
You mean you went into a mess hall?
Nah, just a snack bar.
There on the fort?
Yeah.
Did you recognize anything that...
Nah, that was actually on McGuire, on the Air Force Base side. So, you know, it was on the Air Force Base side.
So you stopped in New Jersey, Germany, and then you landed in Saudi Arabia. Was there any particular town that you arrived at?
What, in Saudi?
Yeah.
We were at Dhahran.
Dhahran. That's where all of them came in just about, wasn't it?
Right.
Okay, how long, tell me what kind of, you wrote me a letter that your stay in Dhahran, that after a while, that you had the need for space and tranquility.
Yeah.
Now, do you mean there were a lot of soldiers and just waiting to get placed?
Well, it was just a bunch of bunches of warehouses out there, and they piled us in there, and the cots were just, you know, this far apart from each other, and you had people all the way around you. If you want to go to the bathroom, you had to wait in a long line, and it was like a darn concentration camp. And we ate out of a catering service which came up there for breakfast and supper, and for lunch we had MREs. So it was just sitting around.
Breakfast, you mean you got something cooked from the kitchen, like
Saudi Arabia people.
Saudi Arabia food?
Yeah, it was a, I guess it was an American. They had eggs and some meat.
Well, you were handicapped. You and your daddy never did like eggs.
Yeah.
And this is Saudi Arabian food?
These are Saudis coming up in the truck, bringing it out, and us getting in line and eating.
Had the Americans cooked the food?
No, Saudis.
And they had cooked. And all right. In other words, now that what did that other thing that those soldiers, so many of them never did get cooked food. They just had to eat for long periods. What was in one of those?
MREs?
Yeah.
Well, you had a little, you know, it's a bag. Well, I'll go get one, open it up. I'm just going to show it.
I want to see one and see what's in it and sample it.
Put all the props.
You need to show all your little things.
I'll bring you a case next time. I can get us the whole guy.
Of that?
Yeah. If you want, if you want this, buddy, you can have it.
Yeah. Well,
this is what it is. This is an MRE. This is a ground beef with spice sauce, accessory packet A. And this is what we had to eat.
and it always has the same food in there?
No, they have different types, but
How many did you bring home?
well, our unit brought home just cases.
Okay.
Yeah, we got it in the meal van. Okay, here's peaches.
Peaches.
This is peaches. It's our fruit right here.
Does it taste like peaches?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's right. That's the fruit. You want to stick the rest of it back in there?
Yeah.
Did you put water with it?
Well, yeah, if you want to.
That was peach. So it tastes like peach too.
All right. Here's your drink. That's lemon lime beverage. That's Kool-Aid.
You had to have water
Right.
to mix it.
Right. And
You have a canteen on you at all times?
oh yeah. Usually, we had a big canteen that we kept.
Yeah.
14. All right, here's accessory packet A. You got coffee,
Coffee? Where'd you make your coffee? Just pour it in a cup?
canteen cup, creamer,
Sugar?
creamer right here.
Yeah.
Well,
ain't you
toilet
something?
paper.
Wait, that ain't enough to wipe up.
Certainly it.
Well, I mean, is that your toilet paper?
That's it.
And how long was the toilet paper supposed to last?
Not long enough.
I mean, there was, and there wasn't any bushes or trees or leaves.
Matches. No.
That is matches, but you didn't need those.
Oh. And chewing gum.
Chewing gum. And that was it.
No, well, we've got, here's some crackers.
Crackers?
You want to open this up and just see what it...
Well, sure I do.
Give it a try.
I want to bite it. Was that a dessert or?
Alright, crackers.
You just eat that? Is there any meat in this thing?
Alright, well, and here's a, wait a minute, see, here's some, hey, well, that's just peanut butter. Peanut butter in here.
Peanut butter and crackers.
Yeah. So,
But every one has a different.
yeah, just has a little bit of something different in there.
Yeah.
Okay, and here's a cookie bar chocolate covered. Here's the dessert.
Oh, Lord, how much?
These are alright. I'll show you how to do that. You just take this and throw a bunch of peanut butter on it and it's good. It's a real
Mighty
chocolate.
good. You'd eat that every day, couldn't you?
Yeah, reminds me of that Shackley stuff y'all used to have around.
That's good.
And here's the main, here's the entree right here. I actually like these a little bit. I'll probably eat the whole thing.
Is this Andre?
This is it.
Uh-huh.
Do you think a lot of people made fun and everything, but really when it got right down to it, they kind of enjoyed eating that stuff?
Sorry. If you eat more than 2 a day, you're sick of them.
You get tired of.
Oh yeah.
That was the main thing, huh?
Yeah,
And
they're
well,
worse than me. This one's all
when
right.
those boys went up there and got, in the front lines, is that all they had?
Yeah.
Or did they come around with a truck and bring in some food every once in a while?
Well, they drew rations. What they drew was, most of the time, was little old cups with spaghetti or ravioli in it. So that was about the same thing.
Oh, Lord, what is this?
That's ground beef with spice sauce.
Mighty good.
Is it?
Yeah. Okay. And how long did y'all stay there before you moved on?
For a couple of weeks.
Did you do any kind of cooking? Did you do any kind of work? Did you did you just sit around and read? Did you drill? Did you go out?
We had formation at 8 o'clock, and they said, they just call our name, and we went back and laid around. That was it. That was it.
Well, that'd sort of make a lazy soldier out of you.
Well, yeah, but see, Bob and John and I, we were out. We knew some guys from the ration breakdown point down here at Dalmon, and some other guys we knew at Half Moon Bay. And we started scrounging in. We started drawing this and that. Started
while you were still
at port.
Yeah.
We started just, taking it out, just going up there and talking to them and getting plates and this and that. And we had a pretty good start there before we even left port.
Well, now when you left port, did you know where you were going?
We knew we were going down Tapline Road.
Well, now were you going north or south?
We were going kind of we're down Tapline
Or
Road.
west?
We were going west and kind of north, I guess.
All right, where you stopped, how far was that from the Persian Gulf?
Well,
how many miles?
It took all night. I'd say it's a 7-hour trip.
It was northwest, huh?
Right. So I'd say, about 400 miles.
All right, did you pass different groups like you know, these units, the tank units,
Oh,
or
yeah,
the
We were near the first cow, you know.
1st Cavalry,
Yeah.
American troops?
Right.
One time you wrote me that there was a bunch of Egyptians around you.
Yeah, the Egyptians were a little bit farther north than us. I guess they were supporting. We were supporting them after a while when we were at
Where'd that
Rozelle.
come from?
I traded this from off a British desert rat.
You gave him your uniform?
I gave him a parka for it.
What is a parka?
It was a nighttime desert camouflage parka. And it was getting hot, so I just traded it off. And it turned out that I didn't even have to pay for it when I got up there to sign out.
Well, when I was in the Army, if you lost anything, you had to account for it or have a good excuse.
Right, battle loss.
That was a battle loss?
Yeah.
Just like you lost those letters from all those girls?
Yeah, that's right.
Lost it. Is that what you reported? It was a battle loss?
Well, actually, everybody that didn't have particular items got in the line with a black ink pen, and when they went down the line, they would put the number 1 there instead of leaving it blank themselves. I guess that's been done throughout all time.
Yeah.
They just put the number 1, and then just hand it over, and then it's there.
Well, when you got situated, how long was it before you had a kitchen unit set up?
Well, it didn't take long because Bob was.
Was it a day or 2 or a week?
Well, it was like within that day. It was probably within the next morning we had started cooking.
All right, now, was it a gas thing?
It was, it ran off a MOGAS, a M2 burning unit.
Well, was it really a stove that you cooked off of?
It was like a glorified frying pan is what it was. It was you had fire on the bottom and a little hood over the thing that you were cooking on. So that brought the heat to the bottom, not the top.
When did you realize you was the cook?
Well, I knew that the whole time because...
I mean, before you left?
Yeah, I mean, I'm the only cook. I didn't know, I thought that we'd be eating with another unit.
Yeah.
I thought that I'd just pull shift like everybody else. You know,
And
I'd just have to pull shift with the other guys and then go back to my unit and then the next day pull another little shift like everybody else does. But no, they had to have their own mess hall.
you mean the Ashland group had to have their own mess hall?
We weren't authorized to mess hall. We got our...
You wasn't authorized?
We got our kitchen supplies from guys from Goodwater and our pots from people from Goodwater. We got some of our stuff signed off from us from this guy from off Alberton or somewhere. So we just
You mean
got
another country?
Not just that's a city, and just scrounged it, put it all together, and we got a couple of accounts with a couple of ration points, and then started cooking.
Well, do you remember the first meal you cooked?
Oh, Lord have mercy. There's so much.
Well, did you start off, if it was hard to, you didn't have the best kind of food to start off with, did you?
Well, we were cooking T-rats at first.
What is a T-rat?
T-rat is a, kind of like a television dinner. It's a big silver square thing. And it's got one, like, all green beans in it or something like that, and it feeds about 24 people. You put it down in hot water, boil it for about 45 minutes, take it up, open up the can, and there you go. That's
Did you have any cornbread?
Well, not with tea rations, but when we started getting good rations and started kind of, you know, sifting around, finding stuff, then we started having food.
Okay. And did you actually make the cornbread yourself?
Well, you know, it's just cornmeal and, you know,
I know
eggs
it, but
and-
I ain't got sense enough to make it. In other words, you knew how to make cornbread.
Yeah, you just have powder and eggs, salt, whatever.
Well, nobody, you was about the only one could do that, wasn't you?
Well, yeah, Bob knew how to do it, but, you know, that's you know, it's like
Well, way I understand, Bob must have been, he was in charge, he wanted it done. These fellas got to eat, but you was the one that just cooking it?
Oh, yeah, he did, you know, he'd do stuff, and, you know, he worked a lot. The other guy, the other EA, he was just, he didn't do anything.
All right, now, and you always had some people watch KP, is that right?
Right, had a KP.
Did they come down through a line?
Yeah, we were in a GP medium tent.
Now, how big is a GP medium tent?
I'd say about as big as this room here.
Okay, and that's where you lived, and that's where you kept your supplies, and that's where you eat.
Right, there for a while, yeah, at Roosevelt, yeah, TAA Roosevelt.
Uh-huh. Is that first place that you got?
Right.
Okay. And how long did you stay at the first place?
It had to have been I guess a month and a half, something like that.
All right. Did y'all guard the perimeter there?
Yeah, they had to stand to every morning and, you know, guarded, and they had people manning 50 cows all the way around the big perimeter, all the way around Roosevelt. And under the Geneva Convention, medical people are not supposed to man a 50 caliber or anything larger than that. So what they did was they put the medical guys up in the darn towers. They had to get up there when it was cold.
You ever have to do that?
Bob wouldn't let me.
Okay. And now was there a hospital anywhere near y'all right there?
At Roosevelt, it wasn't actually set up yet.
Is Roosevelt the first place you went to?
Right. That was.
Why did they name it Roosevelt?
I don't know. They had different. It was called TAA Roosevelt, you know, and there was TAA.
Is that the name of the
Abraham
hospital?
Lincoln or wherever else. They just named it after a lot of different, you know. And then when they started moving the hospitals up north. And then they started setting up, and then they moved us up, and that's when the war.
Okay, when they moved you from Roosevelt, were you moving closer to the Persian Gulf?
No, we were moving. All right, you know, if you know, read Newsweek and everything, we were under 7th Corps. 7th Corps, you know, 18th Corps was here near the Persian Gulf, and then you got the Marines over here. And 7th Corps were the ones that were supposed to flank up like this,
way out and come around.
That was
okay.
Us. And so.
Did you know way back then the chore that the 7th Corps was supposed to do when the war started?
Right.
The battle.
We were far to the west, so you know, I mean that just stands to reason that they're going to just flank around there. And we read it.
During the war, what Alabama National Guard unit was farthest north during the war?
As far as General Gurley, the guy, you know, General Gurley, the general that was up there when we left and when we came back, he said that we were farthest north during the war.
What, the Ashland unit?
Right, but after it was all over with, Lineville, they went way up north and, you know, set up water storage.
Well, did that mean that y'all was going to get the first casualties?
When it started, that's all we heard all night was those helicopters, full speed coming towards the hospital. It's right over our heads.
Did you know that the war had started?
We sat there the night the war started and watched it. We watched the tanks go up, we watched the fire, we watched the missiles and the bombs, and heard the boom, and, you know, go to sleep at night and you still hear the boom. Wake up in the morning, you know, it might cool down a little bit, and you see the B-52s going over, and then you hear the boom again. And they'd be throwing tracers up.
Well, all those weeks that, now you say when the war, was that just the airplanes, or is that when the troops went in?
Well, when the air war started,
yeah.
we were still at Roosevelt. And we moved, during the air war, we moved up north. And then the ground war started.
Did you realize, or did y'all have any conception that what the airplanes were doing, that they were just absolutely destroying the Iraqi army, or I don't think anybody realized that.
Right, we didn't know to what extent, but you know, we started to get scared. You know, what was that, Kafji, that town in Saudi Arabia that was attacked? Well, we were near Afar al-Batam, which is another town near the border. And you know, there was talk about, they're attacking Saudi Arabia. Here's this town, you know, and we were near it, so everybody started getting all paranoid and everything.
Now, what was it? When did really the air war start? Do you remember?
Well, I remember when the air war started, because I was asleep in that tent at Roosevelt, and Van Gilbert, he was on radio duty. And he was up there talking, and all of a sudden he pulled his headphones off and ran to all the tents. Scud missile, it started. Shit had hit the fan, is what he told us. And we ran in there, and everybody got their gas masks and got their helmets on, and and hit the bunker. And that's when old Bob said, "The hell with this." He went up there and started making flapjacks. He had enough of that crap. He went up there and started making coffee, pancakes. He didn't want to fool with that war. He just wanted to
Want to cook for them men.
Yeah,
Well, all right. Now, there was a time when did you realize that the air war had sort of ceased? What happened when the soldiers started advancing those 100 days that was different?
Well, it was a lot different. Well, we heard the boom in the whole. We heard it all the time. We even heard when the Scud hit off all the time. It was a big boom. And we were. It was at nighttime then. People watching movies. People started throwing on gas masks. They figured it was a Scud. Everybody started running around, panicking and everything. And it didn't happen again. So I guess they called in the radio.
Well, didn't that thing end so fast that did you realize that it was over? It had started and it was over with?
It seemed like an awful long time to me and all of us because we weren't sleeping that much. And
you wasn't sleeping at all?
Well, we were sleeping some, but you're not going to sleep so darn good when you know it's really going on right there. You could just, there it is, right there. There's the war. There's the boundary line. And,
Well, did they start bringing them prisoners where you were?
Well,
before you get to the prisoners and everything, what are they now? While the war was going on, what's that stuff?
Okay, there's a guy that told us he knew where some water was, and we were running low on water, so they sent me and this guy and this E6 to go get some water. We drove up a long way, way up. We thought we were in Iraq. We were close, but there, when the war really got started, when everybody just jumped, they left tanks out there and armored personnel carriers. And that's where this came from. I got this off a tank.
Well, how did you know to pick that up? How did you know it wouldn't blow up in your face?
Yeah, I just
it was the U.S.
Yeah, these are all U.S. things.
Was there a hand grenade in there?
Nah, there was.
Okay.
What's the other thing over there?
Oh, this light right here came off a armored personnel carrier, U.S. And heck, I don't know. It looks a little outdated. I don't know what it was used for, but I got it. And this came from Iraq. This is one of those bombs that came out of a B-52. Found it in a big crater. Gerald found that. I didn't go with him then.
Let me ask you this. Have you got anything else you want to show?
Well, there's a long story that goes with it. You want to tell it now?
Yeah.
Okay, this is a piece of shrapnel. It's a piece of steel. This driver and I went up to draw rations one time. There was an MP out in the middle of the road. He had all his bulletproof vest and the whole works on. He was crouched down. He was averting us from the road. I saw up there. I saw smoke. I didn't know what was going on. But he was kind of flustered. I saw him all hyperactive. I started getting worried. And he told the driver, he said, "You just got to get down there and get in the bunker. There's an ammo big 18-wheeler. was about to blow. And, you know, we, oh, God almighty. We took that deuce and a half. We ran down there real quick. And I didn't know the rest of the guys, except for I found the guys from the ration breakdown point. I said, can we get in the bunker with you, you know? And they said, yeah. We ran, got in there, had a helmet, and it was kind of peeping out there, but not too much. He was afraid to hit him in the eye. We waited for that thing to blow up, and the fire seemed to be dying down. We waited. And the guy that was driving me, I don't want to call his name, Anthony Matthews, imbecile, got up, stood up, and outside looked. Right when he stood up, they blew up. Boom! I mean, they heard that sound 40 miles away where the people were at, where our unit was at. They heard it. Big mushroom cloud and stuff just went everywhere. The whole truck, trailer and all was gone. And this stuff was flying everywhere. And he jumped. When he heard it blow up, he just dove down in there. He hit his head on the bottom of the bunker and everything. And I looked up, it was all over and things were falling everywhere. I just looked at it.
Was he from your outfit?
Yeah.
And he shouldn't have been out there,
Oh,
huh?
I was crouching down. He was standing up there looking, you know. I don't know. I just found that in the sand. I found that out in the middle of the darn desert, next to a darn trash can.
So that's probably on the front of some old truck or...
That fell off,
Mm-hmm.
laying on the ground.
Is this anything?
I just found that in a tank.
What that stuff is?
Well, I put that in there myself. That's some kind of thing for a folder. Some plastic. You don't need it out there. There's no rain. That's for people who jump out of helicopters. I don't know why I have it myself. It's a light that you...
Did you send this stuff on?
Yeah, I mailed it.
Uh-huh.
We've already shown that beret and the canteen. Is anything?
Where's the rug?
Oh, I don't know. It might be in the truck. I don't really know.
Carried those dice.
Dice?
Yeah. You was comforting that he carried these dice with him and they never even came out the pack. And
You
look
told
at-
me to always side bet, so...
these playing cards never even were open.
Uh-huh. He didn't do much gambling over there.
How much did you win in all?
Well, the biggest win I got in one night was $40, and that was just out of the other guy's acting ego.
Yo-yo?
How in the world did you get a yo-yo? Did they send that
The
over?
major gave it to me from the other unit. I was feeding him, and he just gave me a yo-yo.
A major from another unit came over and wanted you to feed it?
Well, he was from a unit that we were feeding, and then when we moved, we just didn't feed that unit anymore. We just pitched the big fits. We're feeding 100 people, you know, and they don't have but one cook either. Forget it. You don't want it.
Well, did he come back and want to be fed?
Well, he'd come back every once in a while. We were kind of, you know, we didn't really want to fool with him anymore, so we just kind of blew them off.
What's that stuff?
Alright, this is just a little sand, and these Tabasco bottles here come in the MRE. I just put a little sand in it. I had to sneak these through customs. You're not allowed to carry sand back, so I just kind of slipped that through.
That came from that foreign country.
Yeah.
That's sand.
And this is just it's a rock here.
Yeah.
It's a weathered down piece of rock. It's sitting up like this. That's on how
That's an interesting piece of rock there.
And here's, I don't know, some other kind of, I don't know what kind of rock that is. Here's some, looks like a little hermit crab used to be, and a piece of coral.
Okay, you need
From
to
the
go
Persian
into that
Gulf.
story. How did you happen to be in a position to get coral?
Well, we had a trip to a love boat. It was a big deal and everything. Gonna draw the names out of a hat. The love boat. Everybody was out there in the sand just thinking, you know, they could go swimming on the love boat. Have a big time. And,
Water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so everybody was hyped up, and the last name drawn out of the hat was the one who won. And everybody was sitting around there, we don't get to go. And only one person didn't get to go. They started drawing names out of hat, and about halfway through, they drew my name. You know, God, I don't know, they're gonna get one of these old rascals here. And they kept on drawing. They kind of had been talking to old man Sergeant Major Brooks. If he, you know, if something happened and he happened to get drawn, it may be possibly I might get to go in his place if he didn't feel like it. And all of a sudden they drew that last name, Brooks, you won it. I just took off over there and started talking to him, being real nice. And he said, you know, I said, how much, you know, I'll buy it from you. You know, here, let me, you know.
Probably had $2
Right.
in your pocket.
You want me to, you know, you just go ahead and have a good time. So I got to go on that. Gary Cooper, he's a guy in our unit, he got to go too. He went before I did. It was pretty fun.
The guy that won it, was he from your unit?
Yeah. Well, see, they, you know, they gave, like, say, 10 trips to us. We gave 1 trip to our unit, 1 trip to this hospital, 1 trip to this hospital.
And you diving?
Yeah, well, we, there was a Oriental dhow. There's some kind of boat, have snorkeling and dive, you know. We got to go out in the Persian Gulf and dive for pearls. We didn't get any pearls, but found some of this.
But you did do some diving?
Yeah, we snorkeling, you know, with the snorkel and everything. This is just some Iraqi money. Got a picture of Saddam Hussein on it and all that.
Let's see that. That one bill. Will that show up on this thing? I think this one big bill is the only thing that is really interesting to me, because it shows the old madman. Does it show up on that, you think? And we don't know whether it says 25 DINANS, whether it's $25, 25 what. But that, and this other is Iraq,
Saudi, and I got
Saudi
some
money.
different coins. Bahrain and places like that.
Now, how many countries do you actually touch?
Physically with my feet.
Or are you on an airplane that landed there?
Oh, okay, that counts too?
Yep.
Kind of, that's a half. I guess I saw Germany first, and Saudi Arabia, and then Iraq, Kuwait, and Bahrain. And then I got to stop at Brussels, Belgium, and that was physically, I didn't get to touch it.
But the wheels on your plane,
the
though?
wheels were on the plane, and I got to look out the window and see the little houses.
I spent a lot of wonderful days in Brussels,
But
Belgium.
a good thing that I got to do from the plane was we flew over Rome, and we saw Rome, and we saw the
Oh, that's
Mediterranean,
why.
and we saw Greece.
Wait a
and we
minute,
saw
Rome and Greece, and what else?
And there was this one place. They were pretty low when they were over the Mediterranean.
They wanted you.
There's this one peninsula out here like this, and out in the middle of it was this, looked like a big castle or a big big thing sticking up, big steeple and everything. I don't really know what that was, but it looked like some kind of, you know, I don't. This is a Kuwaiti flag. They had them flying around everywhere and selling them and all that. You know, all the Kuwaitis.
What's that?
That's my calendar there. And actually, I didn't have a calendar till January because it didn't start in January. And I got right here Wednesday, the 2nd of January, 136 more days. We had them X'd off. And I got here on January the 15th. Before I had done it, I wrote the word violence down there. I don't know when I did that, but on the 17th was the day, so I kind of put it down. February 17th, the proposed midway mark. Didn't quite make it. I quit after about April. I just quit acting them off.
This is the letters you got. You got about that many letters, and probably about most of those are from Daddy and Your mama probably.
Yeah, that's some of them.
You got more than that?
Yeah, I got 3 different things.
There's a lot of girls that I knew in Atmore that worked in grocery stores that wrote you letters. My secretaries, both of them wrote you letters. And you said one of them was very inspirational, etc. And you just couldn't answer all of them.
Yeah, I didn't answer many of them at all.
All right, now, how did this trip to Iraq come about, in a word?
Well, there's this Danny, this other guy and I, we decided we were going to draw rations one day, and instead of drawing rations, we just hit MSR Blue at some kind of service road, took off. We was just going to fly down to Iraq, see Iraq, touch Iraq, look at it, turn around and come back, without anybody knowing about it. It's kind of a thing. So we had to go through a ride down, and there were places where there were guys in
checkpoints?
No, just guys in tanks blown up, you know, and minefields, all of that. I got pictures of all of that. But we got to see all of that, and we stopped at this one place, and we said, are we in Iraq yet? He said, you're 60 miles into it. He said, you know, no. We said, well, and we left. We didn't turn around.
Was that a American soldier?
Yeah, he was. Some guys, I don't know who they were, but we just wanted to know if we were actually.
That's after the war was over, or?
No, it was. I guess it was just right after it started, because the mines where everything was still there. They were on the side of the road. There were missiles sticking everywhere. We just got some pictures of that.
The point was not to get off the highway.
Right. Because some people that were there a few days later did get off the highway.
And put one in his knapsack. I know I told you, don't be picking up a mine. You said, Bob, I'm not that crazy.
My doctor did it. He got blown away.
Okay. Now, how did that trip to you called me up? I mean, guess where I am? You said Kuwait City. And I said, my goodness, that is a pretty dangerous place to be in. It's not healthy. And isn't it smoky? And you said, no, not too much. I can see the oil wells burning. Now, how did it come about that you were able to go to Kuwait City?
Well, some of the guys had got to go on a trip before us, and I knew that there was another trip coming up. And I talked to them, the supply guys, and begged them, and talked Bob into letting me go, so I took off with them. And it was an experience. I got to see a lot of things.
And very few people in your unit, I take it, even was interested enough to want to go.
Well, some of them were scared to go, and some of them, were just, didn't want to go out.
Did you get up on that road where, we saw it on television, where these Iraqis were leaving town, and they were leaving in school buses, they were leaving in a fire truck, they were leaving in a police car, and you could see the police car. And did you actually get to that place?
We stopped.
How far out of Kuwait City was that?
It was right on one of the interstates, right. I guess it was northwest of Kuwait City. But it was, you could see the city from
Bunch
there.
of Mercedes, wasn't it?
Well, there weren't that many Mercedes. By that time, the scavengers had been picked that clean. There were still people dragging stuff around.
Any of them have to leave their gowns and clothes?
Yeah, I found this just when I first got it.
Was that sort of a ladies?
No, this is it. This is what they
The guy walking around in the thing
The
like that?
guys, when they greet each other, they grab each other by the hand and just kiss all over each other. That's their custom. I don't see anything wrong with it. They just kiss each other on the face.
Well, at what point did you feel like you needed this?
I just found, I don't know, really remember. I wore that for a long time, but.
Just in case.
I wore that during the war.
In other words, there's no atheists in foxholes.
That's right.
Okay, and you wore it.
Yeah, I wore it.
Did y'all have church services over there?
Yeah, they had church service and they'd sing a little bit. But,
Did you go?
well, I went a couple of times, but it just really peeved me for the preachers to tell you how Jesus wanted you to kill somebody and do the mission. Jesus Christ, and you're doing, and it's just not. I don't. Religion and that just don't mix.
I don't picture him.
I agree with you.
As all right, you was using your head there. So that accounted for. Well, as soon as the war was over, did a certain amount of boredom set in right then?
Started getting hot.
Well, but before we get the war over with, now what about
Yeah.
these casualties coming in and things like that?
When the war was going on, I asked this command sergeant major, please let me go with you and Colonel Diamond to the hospital. I want to see POWs and this and that. And he said, I'll ask Colonel. He asked Colonel. He said it's all right if I went. And we went to some of the he's the boss. I mean, he was over all these hospitals. And when he came in there, everybody said, that's Colonel Diamond inspecting the hospitals. And the colonel that was over the hospital, he was under Colonel Diamond, He was being real nice, and he started giving me a tour and introducing me to all the POWs. And
You mean he was introducing you to
this guy? This guy right here, he came in, he was missing this, and he had bullets in his back and whatever, And
what did they think you were, I wonder?
I don't know. I guess they just thought I was a little kid walking around.
Oh, Lieutenant Colonel, probably.
Well, when we walked in the door of the operating room, there were bunks, cots laying there, and there were people actually operating and pulling first aid on them right there when they came in the door. And I can go walking down through there, and there was one fellow with his leg all tore open, and another guy was sitting there and he was scared because he didn't know what was going on. He was laying there on his back, and they were trying to pull the shrapnel out of his back there, and he'd look around, see if anybody was trying to hurt him and everything, and then he'd start back chanting again. Had his prayer beads and all that.
You mean they were wearing those prayer beads?
You hold your prayer beads like this. They always hold them like this.
Very religious.
5 times a day, they get down.
Did you see them?
Yeah. They get all, they get the Holy Ghost or something. And start kneeling down.
Oh, well.
I don't know what.
And that's what you wore.
Yeah,
that
they
day
made
you
you wear
toured
that.
the hospital.
Yeah, that was in the operating room.
Okay. When you went in the operating room, and we did show the picture.
But then you had to wear something on your shoes,
Yeah.
boots?
You just walk right out of the desert into this, it was a field hospital, but it was kind of like, they used the back of a truck. On the inside, it was a hospital. I mean, it was real walls and lights. And
Okay, I gather from your buddy that you were inclined to be a little more adventurous than he himself, that he just hated that salty food, but he indicated that you would go in where they were serving food and sit down and eat with them.
Oh, yeah, they'd invite you in, and, you sat down there on the floor, and the flies and all that didn't, light up too much. You could eat with them. What the meals consisted of most of the time was cucumbers and tomatoes, and a big thing, pita bread, and some mutton that's been on a spit.
Some barbecue goat?
Just kind of, I guess, just put over a fire and turn
Well,
around.
now,
What about that time, that specific time when you were looked in the store, looked in the place?
Yeah, I peeped in there, and they come in, doing all that, how they act, and they try to ask, what is this, and what is this, and
asking
you what is this, and asking what this is called, or something like that. And say, what do you call it in America,
Tomato.
I'd say tomato, you know, anything that crossed my mind, you know. That is
Is
like Etzel. Etzel? Yeah.
Now let me
That is
ask.
a Winnebago.
All right, and then you ate with them, and what about, how did they eat, and how did you eat?
Well, they
drink.
Well, I mostly watched them. I didn't want to, you know, pick up something with my left hand, you know, risk it getting cut off. I sat there and watched them. They grabbed that old bread and tear it open, grab a little bit of that, and just do all, and just, they'd sit there and eat, and they'd watch me. I tried to do what they do. They'd pass the glass around, a glass about this big with water in it, you know, and we all ate out off the same plate. And
Did y'all drink out the same glass?
yeah.
Well, y'all.
Bob, there, I was sitting in there eating, and Bob was, I guess it looked like he peeked his head in the door, looked around there, saw these sitting there eating, you know, and everything.
And you were
They
sitting
said, "Come on, Bob, man, you know, get something. Walk me down, bro. Getting in here, I'm getting in the truck." He got in the truck. He didn't like those people. They wasn't the same.
They wasn't the same.
Yeah, they wasn't. You know, they wasn't from my wrong.
They wasn't ironic.
Yeah, that's what Bob said. The best food I had when I was out there was when I first got out there. There were some Filipinos, some kind of Oriental people driving the trucks out there. I got pictures of that too. But they were sitting out there on the mat out there in the desert where they cooked some rice and some real hot stuff and some noodles and everything on this little stove, like kind of like you got. I sat down and ate that for breakfast with them. That was good stuff. And the rest of the guys were out there, you know, eating. Well, I wouldn't dare eat none of that junk. And then when I was sitting over there, I was eating, you know, they had water, MREs. They that stuff's hot in it. That's rice, yeah. Well, kind of stand around, you know, I just sat there and ate and watched them.
Well, you know, Roscoe Hash did the same thing, and he was eating with them in Vietnam, and he said, "What is this? What is this?" And they said, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa." So you don't know what you ate.
That stuff was hot, and it was good. I wouldn't care, you know, what it was. I mean, it was food.
Well, did you talk to, it wasn't possible for you to carry on a conversation for any lady. I don't mean courting them or flirting with them, anything like that.
Yeah.
They just didn't talk to you?
Well, you know,
Even
they're
old
not
women?
allowed. Yeah, it's like to a certain age, the girls can go with just their face showing. So, you know, you can kind of see them. You know, it's like one time I was walking down the street and off all the time by myself, and I saw one in the truck. She waved, I waved like that, and I was looking, we were both waving like this, and she was just cute, and we were looking, and all of a sudden her dad looked back at me, and she just, what, I didn't see her face again. She just kind of looking straight, you know.
No, where she was waving,
But
but the custom is when Daddy saw her.
right, and then another one, some other girls, and a mother, and women can't drive, and another one came up and was asking for water, and they'd all just, you know, they just acted like regular girls, giggling and everything. Tried to talk to them. They didn't know what I was
You give me the water?
No, I ain't giving them any water. Just waited, you know, they could get it when we left. You know, our boss, Colonel Diamond, he screamed, he started screaming at this old guy, one of our sergeants. He said, "If anybody else helps them, I'm going to punish them." That's the only thing. I've never heard him say something like that before. I didn't, when they came up, you know, started digging around. I mean, nobody wants to go out there and run them off. I was the cook, you know, that was the water and the food and everything, so I had to go out there and tell them, you know, go on. You know, I didn't want to do it. Bob wasn't going to do it.
Why wasn't Bob done?
Bob, you know, Bob, he's not going to, you know, he doesn't do stuff like that, I guess. But, you know, some other ones would come and somebody else would run them off. I didn't particularly like to run them off. I sure wasn't going to.
Well, no, Solly shouldn't have been hungry.
I don't understand.
Was there water, maybe water supply might have been
No,
disrupted
they
or
just going
something?
for freebies, I guess.
That's probably the lower
Right.
poor element or something.
Did you ever go to a town and see what kind of houses they lived in?
Well, I never went actually into a house. You know, I saw what they lived in.
Well,
What towns did you go in?
Just there was different towns that I didn't know the names of, but there was, you know, I never went to Rio. I never went to Rio. I went to Daman, Daharan, you know, and KKMC, and places like that.
by the way, you went on that love boat, and that little country, what's the name of it?
Bahrain.
How did you ride a boat over there?
No.
A plane? No.
We left from KKMC on C-130.
Now, what's KKMC for the uninformed?
King Khalid Military City, and it was about the nicest place, you know, that I'd seen.
Was
around
that
Saudi Arabia.
there before the war started? Or
Oh
that's
yeah,
something
yeah,
else?
that was. I mean, it was out there in the middle of. Well, everything was out in the middle of nowhere there, but they had, you know, nice houses, and, you know, plants.
Big airport and done.
Right, airport.
And planes?
Yeah. And
Okay.
huge
And
cabin.
how'd you get to that little country?
On a C-130.
What is that, an airplane?
Yeah, that's the kind of airplane that the
So-
guys jump off out of. It's got propellers, four propellers.
Jump out a parachute thing?
Right.
Okay, and so to get that trip for the love boat, you got to ride in an airplane.
Yeah, I'd never ridden a C-130 before.
Yeah. How many people want it?
Shoot, I don't even know, probably about 50.
Well, how was life different on the boat than what you'd been exposed to?
Well, you had a floor.
A floor?
Water.
Water.
You had a place to sit down and defecate. You had a commode, flushing commode, a shower. You know, I mean,
How many people to the room?
bed. I got stuck with a 3-man room because I went by myself, but it was all right.
Some guys got a room to
No,
themselves.
2 people. You know, if 2 people went the same unit together, then they got a 2-man room. But I went by myself.
In other words, you didn't know anybody on that trip?
No, not really. Not when I first got over there.
Did you have a bathing suit?
Oh yeah, I suntanned and did all that stuff. It was fun.
Well, wait a minute. Where was it that you could get a drink, and you got a drink, and you got didn't you run into some Marines?
Yeah, there was 2 guys, 2 Marines. They were fairly young, and they were just like regular guys. They were pretty nice, and there were about 5 bars on the boat. We tried to make it all the way around to every bar before the next show started up there on the top lounge or whatever they call it.
Drinks free?
Drinks free? Heck no.
How much was
Food was free, but like it was like $1 or something for beer, something like that. $2.50 for a
Probably
margarita.
well worth it, wasn't it?
Oh Lord, after you know.
But you got bilious after a while?
Well, they kept on, and they were just, well, let's go to the next one, you know. And I just kind of started feeling sleepy, and I just didn't go red. I'm not that type to stay up and pray after I get tired.
No.
Glad to hear that.
Glad to hear that.
Well, you know, I'd have fun while I still get a little tired, you know.
And you went to rest?
Yeah, get up the next morning, start over,
Start over what?
acting the fool.
Oh, but you did start over the next day. Well, I mean, when you came back from the trip,
I had a persimmon face, you know.
were you arrested?
Yeah, I was pretty well rested, you know. But they
Did they
did come and get us the night that we got back, and we had to spend the night in the old warehouse. And I had to use a pair of pants for covers and pitiful. And the next morning, they didn't come get us in, so I caught a ride with some guys I knew from another unit altogether. And when they saw me come up, walking, straggling up, where'd you come from? Hey, you didn't come get me. I had to find a ride back, so I rode all the way from KKMC with some guys from 142nd.
All right, now where was it that you last was situated? How long did you stay? What, on the love boat?
No, when you, just before you came home.
Oh.
Where were you?
We moved back south a little ways, south of Tapline Road, and we were east of Opera Albaton. We were about, 10 miles east of that town. But it was Ramadan, so we couldn't go in there anyway.
Now Ramadan is what?
That's when they can't eat it all during the day. They have to be praying all the time, I guess, and being very religious, and, no fornication in the daytime or any of that good stuff. You couldn't do anything hardly. You couldn't look at them. If they saw us, chewing a piece of chewing gum, that'd be the, Allah come down and, all this stuff. We all need to kneel if we see him chewing that gum like that. And one time there's a guy out there in the back of a truck trying to sell some stuff to a guy in our unit. And this fella came out with a bullwhip, started, acting all like he was going to beat.
Probably.
Yeah, he was a boss man, I guess, and he started, taking that bullwhip and, pardon the cussing of it. Danny Yates, he said, if that fella comes over here with that bullwhip, I'm going to whoop his ass. He's going to put some Clay County on his ass. He's talking about. I don't care what country it's from. If he comes, I ain't never been hit with no bullwhip, and I ain't kneeling for nobody. No, they'll make me kneel. So, he didn't care. He'd fight him off.
Well, when is the first inkling that, did you ever think you're going to come home and then that, you couldn't?
Yeah, heck yeah. They a little rumor came around that we were going to leave at the end of March, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
30th of March.
Yeah.
And,
28.
Something happened?
Something happened, and it was a fluke anyway, so it really was, into April. That's a month of actually doing nothing. Just sitting around, reading or whatever.
Well, wasn't it restful? I mean,
Well, it was only restful after the advance party left. I had like 8 people in our tent, a bunch of fellas, and they were miserable, sitting around, After they left, it was just me, Gerald, and Tony. It was 3 of us in the tent. We had a big time then. We, took up
you
all
mean
the sides.
they were miserable, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they had to stay on rear detachment. They didn't know how.
Stay on what?
Rear detachment. They had to go wash the trucks, in other words. They goofy, they asked who's going to volunteer. Of course, the young guys, they got to, be big, right? All the smart ones, those old Vietnam vets and everything, they didn't volunteer, stay longer, not get any more money, They didn't, it didn't quite jive with them.
Well, were you, anybody from your Ashland unit, were they in the Vietnam War?
Yeah, we had a few.
Any of them from the Korean War?
Not that I know of, no.
How many of them in there were Vietnam veterans?
Well, we had, a lot of our percentage was draft dodgers from Vietnam.
Draft dodgers?
From Vietnam, it's so-and-so and all that. And they
were joining the
yeah, well, you know what I'm saying, not really, but we made fun of, well, you coming nice to go now, look at you, all that, all that kind of junk.
That's kind of like if I had stayed in.
Yeah, and then you got pulled over here. Well, yeah, you got out of that, now look at you.
No, sister.
we messed with them a lot.
Sister, when she watched the CNN, the National Guard, move out of Ashland, she was convinced that it was Eddie was going back in. And she talked to her son, Michael, and Michael said, no, says, Eddie is too old to have to go back. He's not going back in.
He'd be one of the young whippersnappers, and I agree.
But he would have?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you would have been glad to have had him over there, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Did you have any father and son outfit over?
One, but the father got a heart attack and had to go home.
What, did that affect the boys' morale?
Not too much. I don't know. He was kind of, he didn't give a flip when we got there, and he didn't give a flip when we left. He just, he was just going along. He was, just going about his business, maybe.
Well, now, what the average guy coming out from Clay County, where does he work? I mean, he's going to college, for instance. You?
Well, you know, all those old guys, they were all working at the phone company or at the mill or the...
Where does Ford work?
He's a driver, linen truck driver.
Uh-huh.
You know, and some of them, you know, just different jobs.
And they're just going back on their job.
Right.
But I was surprised that a guy that delivers mail went sort of haywire over there.
Well, he was walking around every night.
Was that
every day.
discouraged? I mean, that sort of affected your morale a little bit.
Well, you know, I mean, I noticed that everybody noticed that he was going. I mean, he
Did they let him home a little early?
Yeah, his back started hurting him or something, so they sent him home. I'm glad they did.
Yeah. Let me ask you, did any of the guys get a Dear John letter?
In our unit?
Yeah.
No, not in our unit.
Well,
some other guys got it though.
Now, of the different nationalities, you talked to some British soldiers just that one time?
Well, they come out and trade. British always trade.
Trading what?
Just trading their meals for our meals and their, you know, this stuff.
Were that meals measured up to your meal?
Well, their field rations, yeah, they had little cans of this and that, you know, and beans and all kind of neat stuff, and, you know. They wouldn't hardly trade for MRE, they traded for something else.
Did they come to your place where you were cooking?
Yeah, they come in there, you know.
Would you let them eat?
Around. Yeah, I would. Sometimes I would. You know.
Yeah.
But
Just
you
the
can't-
food?
Well, you can't sometimes, you just can't.
Okay.
You know.
Now, all right. Now, any other nationalities you run into some French?
Yeah, I
So
saw
those French are the ones that were
Right, we saw some French.
Foreign Legion.
Right, we saw some of those.
Did you
guys.
feed any of them?
No, we did. We just saw them, you know, around, and they were weird looking characters.
They were
The ones that I
in the
saw,
world.
they were different. They had weird, different uniforms, and they kind of were
Bad news.
Yeah, they looked like
They're
bad.
usually kind of losers that
Right. They kind of little.
don't have anything. They're proving something to somebody, you know.
That's why it seemed like they were kind of, you know, nerdy types, but you know, just real. I don't know, different.
All right,
Now,
now,
dangerous.
Right.
the Egyptians, how did were they friendly or?
Well, they were real friendly and just, you know, I don't know. I didn't like them too. I didn't trust them too much.
Didn't trust them?
Not much at all. Yeah, I didn't.
Regularly because of their color or what?
I don't know what it was. I just didn't like them too much.
Well, did you see any Kuwait soldiers? The most that I knew that went back was 600. They come over here.
Most of them were,
I saw like
were flyers, weren't they?
Yeah.
the ones I saw were like at intersections on the road, you know, guarding highways. So I didn't talk
Kuwaitis?
to them. I would figure they were Kuwaitis. They had Kuwaiti flags and, you know, some berets and
Now,
everything.
they utilized a lot of the the Saudi Arabian soldiers
Right.
for those checkpoints and guarding and all that.
We saw a lot of those guys.
Do you think did many of them go in on those assaults?
Oh, well, yeah, as much as anybody.
I
You know, the
thought-
Egyptians, they were up there with it too. Saudis, they were all part of it.
I know one
Not like-
time the Egyptians on the front, when it looked like that there's going to be a war, the president called them back, but then they pushed them back up there again.
Yeah, I don't know about
Well,
that.
now, you didn't see any Syrians, did you?
I didn't see. I don't know. I could have. Well, wait a minute. I saw some. They must have been Scottish or something.
Yeah.
They had little green hats that came down like this. They had little plumes on.
Uh-huh.
With their uniform.
Yeah.
They were. I don't know what.
Well,
they
the
were.
Scots wear these little dresses, you know.
They wore the same as British. That right there. Except for their little hats were green. They came over kind of like a flap cap, and they had little white plumes.
I bet they were tough.
And they had, seems like they had some plaid on, some kind of little patch or something. But they were, I believe they were Scots.
All right, in case the battery's gonna run down, and then we can come back, why don't you describe when you found out for sure you was going home, and then what you did?
Well, you really didn't believe it when you know, were told you was
never
going
knew.
home. You never knew. When I really started believing it was when we got on the bus to go to KKMC. And then when we got to KKMC, there was so many people there that I just said, well, we'll never get out of here. Some people say, well, I've been here since, you know, day before yesterday, and I've been here, you know, I'll be here for another week. We thought, we gonna be here for a long time. But next morning, they took us over the airport and we were gone.
Dude.
Yeah.
All right, what kind of plane did you fly back?
It was a United 747.
It was a big white airplane.
Yeah, Lord.
Comfortable?
Got on that joker. Yeah, I slept most of the
Commercial.
time.
Oh, you slept.
Yeah. Laid out. See, when they dropped off some of the people at Savannah, heck, there wasn't nobody but us and a few other guys on the whole 747. So we were running around. Heck, I sat up in first class then. One of the major captains called it, Hugh Rozelle, come to the front. Hugh Rozelle, come to the front. There's your seat, first class. You
Stood up there with there was officers in first class.
Yeah, that's one of them little stewardesses. I said, could you give me a coat, please, ma'am? You know, I just trying to... Are you supposed to be in first class? I said, here's Bob right here. Bob, tell her. I just pointed at Bob.
Well, I wonder why that major wanted you up there. Was he?
Oh, they were. Hey,
Was
see,
he
they always.
Was he an Ashland outfit?
Yeah, that was one of the guys that hung around with McNabb. See, they always had, you know, they were always telling stories about me, and, you know, playing and joking, and getting me to, you know,
That's
call.
cool for
Yeah, basically, you know, that's just the way it was. I played around with them and everything, made fun of them, picked on them and all that.
Picked on who?
Yeah, just everybody, you know, they did.
Yeah.
You know, some of those miserable guys, you know.
You didn't pick on pitiful people. You picked on
No,
officers
you're right. I picked on the people who, you know, who
needed it.
nobody actually, you know.
All in fault.
Right. No, there was never anything like that. You know,
Yeah.
you just didn't have enough time or energy to be resentful. You know?
Well,
Everybody was,
let me ask
I mean, you were over there in this
Now,
big place. And
What about when you got hit in your stomach?
Oh,
Hit in the stomach?
Yeah, I was in the mess hall one morning, and seems like there was a few of us around chuckling and elbowing and everything. And little Johnny, he was up, you know, early in the morning, hair sticking up on the side. And he was down there trying to light a burner unit, and the gas was leaking out. And I tended to be, I got you know, dared into it. I was down there with a lighter, and I was burning his butt. He turned around and punched me right in the gut. All I could do was laugh, because I was the one that was doing it.
You was setting him on fire.
I was just lighting his butt up a little. He was bending over like this, you know. Now, you know,
He hadn't woke up yet.
yeah, he turned around.
All right, you were laying in your tent in the morning, and you're going to have to cook. You have to get up pretty early.
Right.
You mean somebody come in and woke you up?
Well, see, Bob would come in. What he does, he'd get up, he'd make the coffee and drink himself some coffee. I mean, if he didn't want coffee, I guess I don't know what would. I'd have to get up and done it myself. But he'd get up, get the lights on and everything. I'd get up, start, you know, making biscuits or whatever.
Making biscuits.
Yeah, whatever. Biscuits are a crappy job, you know. You got a big old glob of dough after you. Nobody likes to do it. I mean, nobody could do it. Bob and John, I guess, could do it.
Well,
I could do it.
How long did it? How many pans full of biscuits you have to make?
You had to make 3 cans, big old cans of it. So that was a lot of biscuits. I guess you'd say
You ever burn
100,
it?
200 biscuits. You know,
Yeah.
all you had to do was you cooked them on one side and they'd rise, and you cook them turn them over, and brown them with tad on the top. And they were just biscuits.
All right, now you got the biscuits. Did you have to fry the meat? Did you have
Well, we had either bacon, which came in little cans, which was easy, just fried, or SOS, and or every once in a while we'd have a little sausage, never, not twice the whole time, and then a lot of times we had old hot dogs, weenies fried on, or bologna fried.
For breakfast?
Right, fried bologna or fried weenies, and then eggs, sometimes grits.
Look like you'd have grits all the time.
Oh, the Army, they not good Southern, they just have grits every once in a while.
Let's see, did you cook lunch every time?
No. For a while we did, and then when rations got down, we could serve MREs, or those ravioli things, and then we cooked supper. But we'd always at least cook 2 meals a day. When we cooked 3 meals a day, it was tiring.
It was tiring, huh?
As soon as we got all the pots and pans washed from, everything else.
Start again?
Had to start again.
Well, now when they was washing the pots and pans, what was you doing? You didn't have to work, did you?
Well, you had to
shut up.
Yeah, just yeah, stuff like that. Either just go lay around.
Where'd you get all those plates?
See, we always kept enough paper plates.
Oh, paper plates.
Yeah. We brought a lot of them from Fort Benning.
Uh-huh. Paper plates?
Yeah, we put them in a box.
You realize that you might need it.
Right.
Well, I'll say. Well, it was an interesting war, wasn't it? You went over there. Do you remember the day you went over there?
It was, I don't really know, it was December something.
Oh, November.
It was the beginning of December.
November 18th when you went.
Wait a minute now. Let me get to this philosophy. You learn in high school if you
big talkers never really did anything, and if the ones who brag, all they're doing is just downgrading the person that they're with.
Yeah.
I don't think.
And so you don't think it's right that we sit around here and hash out any activities along those lines?
Yeah, I mean,
You had a few female
I
friends.
want to know, did you meet, on a social basis, did you meet any girls from other units?
Yeah, I had,
You had what?
I had girls that come over.
You mean come to see you? What looks like you never did go see any yourself?
Well, no, not much. Every once in a while I go.
You was more stationary. And so what you are saying, that there might have been girls knowing that you had a kitchen and might be hungry, come over to see you.
Right. That's basically
And well, could you cook for any of those girls if they were hungry?
Yeah,
I mean, you wouldn't let a girl come over there at night, and you had some salted chicken. You would naturally barbecue salted chicken, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah.
Did they appreciate things like that?
Yeah, they appreciate it pretty good.
And sponge cake, desserts, and things of that sort. And who is Julie? I mean,
That's her little girl.
did her little girl ever come to see you?
No, she was.
I would hope
somewhere
so.
else. We got to visit them one time on the
You got to visit her?
Yeah, we got.
It's just like homecoming, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was. Bobby Vincent and all of them were there.
Well, it was her daughter, Sister Hannah's daughter, the only female from Millerville, really. I mean, this area.
Yeah, it was.
Ruby Jean?
Who is Ruby Jean?
Tara.
Two little black girls. Ruby, little girl, used to be my little main girl. Been here several times, and she's the one that had a baby, and then within
6 weeks.
6 weeks she had to leave.
She had one before she left?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think she had it accidentally on purpose?
I'm sure
So
it was
she could
accident.
come home?
No, she had it before she left. This thing was conceived before we had any idea about a war.
Oh, yeah.
The baby was born last summer.
Uh-huh. And Well, you mean some of those girls got over there and or left here pregnant? Was that?
I don't know. Some of them turned up pregnant. Got home.
You're certainly not taking any credit for that.
No.
Now, we don't know about Gerald.
Yeah.
You mean Gerald could have some? Is it highly pot? I mean, is it? Did he move around? Was he a mover and a shaker?
I don't know. He had friends and everything.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
He was your main roommate throughout most of the time.
Right.
well, you had an ambition that when you've had girlfriends, you've been with them, and you've let them go by the wayside, and it's happened to me a lot of times, and I've had a sigh of relief a lot of times, and sometimes I felt pretty bad about the situation, but I believe at one time you talked to me that you would like to at least, so you would know people from every area and nationality, that you would like to meet at least some girl from every continent.
Yes, that's
Well, let's see, how many continents did you? Well, let's forget continents and nationalities or states. Did you get to meet the most of the girls that you met was Southern girls?
Well, I met one girl, and she was from Germany. Her name was Silke.
Was she really from Germany?
She had a German accent, and I don't know how.
You don't know where she came from? I didn't know
whether
was
she
any
was born in Germany or.
Was she in the American Army?
Yeah, her folks were from Germany, I guess.
Well, how did you get along with that German girl? I liked the German.
She was nice. She came over,
She could.
She,
Meet any other nationality? Italians?
Not really. Besides, I talked to a couple of little Oriental chicks.
Oriental chicks? Well, did they prove to be a pretty good little female soldier?
Nah, they didn't. I never really talked to them that much. They were always busy. We didn't, get to be.
Well, I think you show a lot of, I liked your approach there that when I overlooked altogether any possible contact with the female element, but I liked your philosophy. It's something that you do, but you might do, but you don't talk about it.
You might brag about it every once in a while or something.
Brag a little every once.
Yeah, but it's not, I don't know.
You hear some guy that goes around and talking about all of his exploits, you can put it down in your little black book that he's not very active. He don't have many days. He don't many have.
Yeah, I hear so many guys talking about, well, she wanted to go out with me. It's just
sort of sick.
It's,
Let me ask you one thing. There's something, I do a little cussing myself every once in a while, but in the Army, I got so tired of hearing soldiers. It was worse than just cussing, but day after day and night after night, all now, especially, I'm not for sure you get all that from Clay County, especially, but I was with people from New York, New Jersey, and California. They sure can cuss, and I got so tired of listening to that mess.
Well, all of us was up there, being big guys and cussing and all that stuff, but there was some that just, nasty, just, saying all kind of belligerent cussing. point, you know, not aimed in any direction. Just
Yeah.
For you know, lack of, you know, vocabulary, I guess.
I guess so.
I don't know.
Well, now, the many guys that you're associated with, have they gone to college?
No. Just, yeah, about 4 or 5 of them.
They realized, didn't the officers realize y'all had been to college? And,
Well, yeah, I don't know. All the guys are so old. I mean, they're old. They're old guys. I mean, they're not.
well, did they? All right, now here's something. This so-called volunteer army was a National Guard, and you got a National Guard in Clay County, and the average age was 40 and 50 and late 30s. Are they the kind of people that ought to be over there?
No.
You do not think
No,
so?
you need young, progressive people who can physically handle it. That's all there is to it. Those old guys that are in the way and, you know, miserable.
Old guys in the way and miserable.
No. They don't have anything constructive. They, you know, I don't know. They're from the old army, I guess. They tend to think that the non-commissioned officer is nothing more than a, you know, a nodding yes man that, you know, just doesn't do, you know, just doesn't take any initiative on their own. It's not supposed to be that way. You know, they can delegate authority, and you don't, you know, you can accomplish something on your own. And that's one thing they never, you know, they wouldn't walk, you know, whoop, they know, you know.
Well, were there any privates in your outfit?
Tammy was private when we got over there, but she got promoted in the middle of the war.
Now you were E4?
Yeah.
And you draw how much a month?
With all the danger pay and everything, it turned out, my last check was $1,500.
For a month's work?
Yeah. So, it's not anything but better than most tails ever made.
Well, that is right. I mean, no, that is, actually, didn't some of those people, wasn't there, not many, a lot of people don't make $1,500 a month. Even the guys that were drawing it from Clay County work, did they? Is any of them, why, those boys in the National Guard, are they, a lot of them going to stay when their time is out?
I don't have the slightest idea about that.
But
They all said they were going to quit as soon as they got back, but now they're back to, you know.
Could you quit right now?
I can't quit for another 2 years.
In 2 years, you will not, though, be foolish enough to join up as a reserve, will you?
I don't know what.
You know, you don't know what you're going to do. Well, you don't want to. When I got out of the Army, everything was so nice and good, and it made it so like a recruiting officer. And they were signing up a few people for reserve.
Right.
Now, you sign up for reserve for 6 more years, and
Okay, girls, now everybody else has been filmed, and we were wondering, is it anything, now what's your name? Toby? Okay. Where do you go to school? Huh? Toby? Where do you go to school? And your name? What's your name, the other one? Sally? Okay. Well, wait, wait a minute now, Sally. Toby's not doing good. Let's see if Toby will perform. Toby? Toby, come on now. Very good. Right on cue. Good dog. Sally, come here, Sally. Sally, come on. Come here, Sally. Come here, Sally Wally. Sally, Sally, quit scratching for 1 minute. Sally, come here. Come here, Sally. Hey, Sally. Come here. Are you camera shy? Okay. Maybe we could get Ashley to come in and tell the story of these dogs. That's what Sally does best right there. She can lick parts of her body that hardly anybody else could get to. And Toby can do things too. Ain't you, Tobe? Good dog, Tobe. Good dog. Come on, Sally. I wish they'd do a good butt slap. Now that's the secret hole there that they always check down in there, because they never know what kind of evil may lurk beneath the house. I guess that's all they want to do.